Everybody wants to be a cat because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at. Tell me, everybody's picking up on that feline beat, 'cause everything else is obsolete.
A short review of the Aristocats. There are many ways to interpret a work of art, and even if the creators had some sort of meaning in mind for their content, it will not necessarily be obvious or relevant years later. The Aristocats can be seen as a manifesto of the rich taking it out on the poor, along with sexist female stereotypes, but that is not the argument I'm going to make today. I think I'll make myself some enemies, but personally, even after watching videos that describe Edgar as the most justified Disney villain, I still think his meager role in Madame's will is his own fault. Nothing in the movie suggests that she or her lawyer harbor microaggressions against Edgar as a member of the working class. I don't think Madame is old money either. She may have earned her fortune as an actress, and hence could comprehend his position. I believe Edgar is just a coward who couldn't stand up for himself, and this movie is about just that, having confidence in who you are and your worth in society. Edgar let the cats walk all over him, but I'm sure that if he put up a good argument about such behavior, Madame would have respected him. Speaking of earning people's respect, you still haven't told me what my ears are made of, and I'm suspecting the worst. What is it now, Sockpaw? Do you still believe that I killed and skinned a small animal to make your ears? Ha ha ha, no. Now I think that you maimed one of these furry toys. You know, one of these fake taxidermy animals that were popular in the early 2000s. Well, I did used to have a lot of them. Even though they're kind of creepy. But that is not what your ears are made of. Duchess was one of my favorite Disney characters as a kid. So beautiful and graceful. But she's also brave and resourceful. Just consider her plight. Waking up in an unknown place far from home with 3 little children to protect. She betrays a bit of worry, but she puts up a good front for the kids and completely recovers by morning, spotting opportunity in the shape of Thomas O'Malley. Stranger danger, an unknown cat approaches. But Duchess shows no fear and shamelessly flirts with him. How did she know O'Malley was not a crook? The answer is in the song. Everybody wants to be a cat, because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
Knows where what's at?
I prefer to think of the pronoun it as referring to the cat, since this was decades before the pronoun they was used. The cat knows where it's at, that is, the cat knows itself. Thus, as some reviewers complained, this movie has no character development because all adult cats are comfortable in their own skin and know who they are. Duchess starts off as a well-rounded lady and a good judge of character. Even though O'Malley is a stray and a stranger, she understands all there is to know about him from his first song and trusts him instinctively because he is a cat. Clearly, Duchess is not as well-versed in humans, for she doubts Edgar's villainy and is surprised that the milkman took offense against them, but she's right about the cats. O'Malley does help them, and Duchess understands him so well that she finds his haughtiness and point-blank rudeness toward the geese to be amusing. She even teases him by sticking with the geese all the way to Paris, knowing he's not really mad. Maybe O'Malley's not mad, but I am. Are you finally going to tell us what my ears are made of? Yeah, tell us. Okay, fine, but don't go ballistic if you can't handle it. What is it? It's a dead ferret! I'm a Frankenstein monster! Is that real? It belonged to a friend's aunt. People used to do a lot more DIY in the Soviet Union in the 70s and 80s. and it was supposed to be a fur collar or something, but it was forgotten and my friend traded it with me. I was oddly fascinated by the thing. I can't live with myself. Going back to my argument about Edgar standing in Madame's will being due to cowardice, here we have Duchess, a rich, pampered, privileged individual, laughing and dancing with O'Malley and his friends. If this movie truly had insidious themes of the rich oppressing the poor, why does Duchess treat O'Malley and his stray pals as equals? Duchess never turns up her nose on the shabby, dirty building or the motley crew, as you may expect from an aristocrat. Hence, if the cats are egalitarian, and Madame practically considers herself one of them, then Edgar's fate is due to his own character faults. In conclusion, Duchess has a keen social intelligence and numerous talents that help her integrate into a different cat community from what she's used to. She's teaching her children the same skills. Their kind of annoying song about incremental learning is the reason for their success with O'Malley's gang. Duchess and kittens don't have to beg for help. Their participation in the singing and music making, while maybe not high quality, wins the alley cat's friendship. So then...
You must sing your scales and your
in order to have a furry party, furry party, furry party, and not just for cats.